What the gigantic Warhammer battle is going on, YouTube? Welcome. Welcome to a giant Ultra Funds 4v4. It was submitted by a viewer. Called it the Battle of Five Kingdoms because it's basically the dwarfs on one side and then 4 allies on the other side, which include greenskins, vampire counts, wood elves, and chaos. If I get it right, so let's... Whew, and the dwarves have quite a cannon line over here. This is like Napoleon would be proud of this. Seeing 3 cannons here, grudge thrower, whew, more cannons, 4 more cannons over here, considerable number of cannons. A couple of waystalker, or yeah, it looks like 2 waystalkers and a deepwood scout with swift shiver shards. Boy, I always have to say that slow. Over here, looks like we got some Goblin Wolf Riders, Warhounds, and Chaos Knights trying to work the flank. Let's just kind of take a look at the main composition. Looks like some Black Orcs and Night Goblin Fanatics working their way up to the greenskins. Some Trolls, Rusty Arrows. I'm not going to get everything. Doomdiver Catapult and the Hammer of Gork is just getting wrecked. Vargeist are moving in, but the Dwarf Skirmishers are going to absolutely shut these guys down. This is suicidal at best. And at worst, just completely foregone conclusion, which you can see that was pretty much the case. They didn't even really get a charge in, so yeah, the Vargeist just not going to be able to withstand that kind of punishment. Look at the Manfred von Karstein out here pushing up with some Chaos Trolls. Look at this line of treemen for the Wood Elves. The Ents march to war here, and it looks like Durthu is leading them. That is going to be one scary fight that goes down. I feel for the dwarves on the other side of that. It's like some gyrocopters with brimstone guns getting hit by... Or look at this flank here, the waystalkers. Firing out of the woods. They are visible, but it's a great play, and they're protected by Chaos Knights, so not going to be much that the dwarves can do about that. Here comes some chariots. The chariots are going to try and break through the front lines. These are orc war chariots that don't really get shot much to start with, and they are going to plow right through the front lines. And could do a ton of damage with their Slayers coming in. They might want to just go ahead and get out of there before the Slayers show up. Unless they punch through the Slayers and try and get to the cannons. Here comes some Trolls, but the Slayers are just going to mop the floor with the Trolls. Yeah, that's going to be a quick end to this fight with Slayers around. This is a massive, massive battle. And I'm lucky to be getting 30 frames a second right now. Let's check it out. The Orc Wyvern here, landing amongst the Dawi. More Dawi troops pushing forward. Let's see what's going on this flank with the where the Ents march to war. Something's on fire over here. Good grief. What is that? Blasting charges? I don't even know what... Yeah, it's blasting charges coming in off the Iron Breakers. It's not really doing a ton. I mean, Durthu's still in pretty good shape. That is a lot of treemen. And the Chaos Knights are looking for targets of opportunity over here along with some armored trolls. So the dwarf on that flank's getting hit pretty hard. The dwarf center is kind of untouched at the moment. Manfred's flying around. Let's see what he's doing. Is he going to do some, like, raise the dead or something? I think that would be pretty handy for Manfred to tie down skirmishers. The greenskins over here are just getting their crap handed to them by a ton of dwarfs. Flame cannon? Really? Does the flame cannon have any kills? 39. Here comes some dire wolves. They would do well to try and get into... Yeah, here you go. Some of these squishy targets over here. There's some Black Knights with lances coming in as well, so this will be a great rear charge into the Thunderers, and there's treemen around too. So pretty nice combo there with the treemen. Look at these Hagbane tips flying into battle. Wrecking the gyrocopters. Man, I love huge battles in Warhammer. I need to set up some times where we can play these. I'll play them with viewers or people who want to join, and then I'll record them so that we can get some good cinematic footage to show off on the channel. Streaming them would probably be too difficult. There'd be too much lag, and I'm assuming that this game was probably pretty laggy. Check it out. We got a Vargulf. We got a fluffy puppy in here. The dwarfs love it when they get to pet the fluffy puppy. Let's take a look at the overall balance of power. Right now, it's maybe even a little against the team who submitted. So the dwarf team's looking pretty decent at the moment. Yeah, I mean, over here, the greenskins got shut down so hard. It's just going to be a matter of whether the treemen can really tank this out. Ungram Iron Fist is fighting way over here. These Waystalkers, and yeah, I mean, I don't think that Deepwood Scouts have enough ammo. I like some of the changes they made to them, but on this unit here, I mean, 135 range is pretty poor, and the ammo is pretty poor. It was the Glade Guard that seemed to get all the buffs that I didn't really understand, and the Wildwood Scout, or the Deepwood Scouts, still to me just don't seem to ever be worth it. Or rarely worth it. Look at some Squigs. Squigs like to eat Dwarven artillery, and they are going to get to taste some right here. I see Manfred landing back there. Let's watch these Squigs get into the flame cannon. Squigs took a pretty heavy nerf in the last patch, and they probably needed a little bit of a nerf. I think they got nerfed a little too hard, but look at that. Nice quick charge from the Squigs. They didn't want to stick around and eat any more stunties, I guess. Got some damage done on the flame cannon. If the trees have a Lore of Life Spellsinger over here, this would be brutal. And they are getting healed. So if they can keep the healing up here, yep, and they've got the Spellsinger safe up on just on a Elven Steed back here. Some Chaos Trolls coming back in. And it looks like the trees can probably wrap up most of this dwarf army, but there are so many dwarfs left on the field. The greenskins just got mulched by the Dawi. Like I said, it still thinks that the balance of power is pretty close. These Glade Guard are going to use up most of their ammo. All these Hagbang tips. It is poisoning the dwarfs and keeping their performance even lower than usual, so that might be as good a pick as any versus the dwarves. But if that was the case, I would try and just fire 1 or 2 at a time to make sure your ammo lasts longer into the game. But I don't disagree with the use of poison on the dwarves, because they're immune to the magical damage that's caused by the Starfire Shafts. They're not immune to poison. And you can see that's having quite the effect on them. There's still some vampire counts and some chaos. There's some chosen right here, and some armored trolls, but the flame cannon is bearing down on this fight, and that's going to be ugly. Flame cannon can get a lot of work done if it's given time to fire. This regrouped cavalry would do well to get into that flame cannon, as it can cause some pretty big damage. It may be causing friendly fire too, though. Looks like it is hitting the chaos units. Alright, so the Ents have broken through the first dwarf army, and we'll see if they're able to do more. As long as this Lore of Life Spellsinger can keep over there, it'll do a lot of good. Nice use of the archers and wolves to chase down all these routing units, get them off the battlefield. Balance of power still staying pretty even, which to me is quite surprising. So, let's see what happens here. Alright. What do we got back here? Some trolls and some regrouped greenskins who look like they're trying to gear up for a second wind. All the Hagbane tips are firing into this fight. A lot of the dwarf artillery is caught up in here too, which is unfortunate for the dwarves. Poisoning the units up in this fight will certainly be handy. There's Quarrelers over here too, and Gunners that are moving around, so those Gunners are going to be a problem. Got a gyro bomber here that hasn't really been used yet. Still got its bombs on it. There, it's going to use some of its bombs, but these archers are almost out of ammo, so that's definitely a waste of bombs. It's not going to be a great use. Looks like another Ungram Iron Fist is going to tear his way into the archers, but once again, the treemen are marching on to war. That is a lot of treemen. They are just going to cause immense amount of damage to melee blobs. So as the dwarfs blob up, they're going to pay a dear price for it. All these artillery really need to be focusing on those trees. Over here, the Rusty Arrows are trying to wipe out what's left of some Longbeards. There's a couple of cannons here that would be nice to get killed as well, because they still have some ammo. The trees do have physical resistance, which help them a little bit against the Thunderers, but the Thunderers do armor-piercing damage. There's a lot of dwarfs coming back in. If Manfred, I wonder if he's used his Raise the Dead. He could use his Raise the Dead pretty effectively on the Thunderers. Looks like he's going to try and help take out Ungram Iron Fist real quick, though, and I'm not sure that's the most brilliant fight, though. Ungram Iron Fist is pretty tough. Ooh, yeah, and those guns. Looks like they're going to get chased, though, here, so this is good. Manfred, yeah, there we go. Manfred's going to get into the guns. Might be able to terrorize him. I think the Spellsinger is still healing. Yep, Earthblood being used. Durthu is getting pretty weak. He's probably going to drop here soon. Spellsinger's still safe back here, but look at that. There's a regrouped Runesmith. I wonder if he's making a run for that Spellsinger. He's definitely want to keep his distance if he is. Let's see. Ungrim is kind of slowly giving way. Manfred is still quite healthy. And the trees continue to pound their way through dwarves. Some of them are getting a little weaker, but they're all still doing pretty darn well. The dwarves are paying a pretty heavy price in this melee. They're losing a lot of units. There's a necromancer out here too. Again, wonder why I haven't seen any raise the dead on these units yet. Look at this, a goblin, or no, it's a banshee. Look at the banshee just slithering around in the middle of all this artillery and skirmishers and stuff. And then Manfred's down over here getting rid of more dwarf artillery. And then the regrouped greenskins actually trying to clean up that flank over there. There's an orc war boss back on his flying monster that's still just kind of hanging out. I'm definitely thinking that if the blue team has any chance, it's with these trees kind of hacking their way through all this dwarf infantry. I'll tell you what would be beautiful right here is an overcast pit of shades. You could wreck so many kills right here with the Pit of Shades. Look at that blob of infantry. The Lure of Shadows would have been beautiful right there. I know the dwarfs have some magic resistance, but I'm guessing that would still be a pretty brutal deal. And the Spellsinger, did it get chased off? Yeah, the Spellsinger just got chased off. That's a big deal, because these trees really need that healing to keep them going. So they're up against a pretty tough crowd right now. Manfred's doing good, mopping up some stragglers. It would really help for Manfred to raise some dead here too, to help the trees. Like, I think between the Spellsinger and the Raise the Dead, a lot of help could have been given. That Spellsinger is going to be badly needed if it has any magic left. Necromancer's trying to run off some straggler artillery units. Same thing with Goblin Wolf Riders. See how these squigs are doing over here. Squigs are finally getting some dwarf for dinner. The trees, one of them is pretty healthy, two are pretty weak, and in pretty bad need of healing, but the Spellsinger's way back there. Now the trees are losing their leadership at this point, so if the trees go down, I don't know. I'm trying to see what else is around to potentially help pull this off. If these trees could be healed, that would be a big deal. Because they're all routing, but if they could get back together and heal them, that would certainly be a big deal. Manfred is still in good health, and the greenskins, actually, who got killed earlier, are really the only ones with any units kind of left around. Look at these orc boar chariots rolling around. They've got 80 kills, trying to do some more work. There's just so many dwarf infantry units left. And then there's a Runesmith over here. Ungrim, two Thanes, Belagar Ironhammer. Yeah, there's plenty of trouble left here. Some of these dwarfs over here are getting wrapped up by Manfred. A couple of the trees come back. The Spellsinger needs to come back, get all these trees in a circle, and heal them up. The dwarfs are chasing. They want to kill the trees. Look at these chariots getting work done here. Might as well. These Quarrelers are out of ammo. They're going to be easy targets. They're going to get wrecked by the chariots. I mean, the more dwarf units they can kill, the better. Yeah, these trees are not being healed still. The Spellsinger's just sitting back here. They really need some healing, because they could make them last for a lot longer if they were around to heal. There's an easy kill right here on Ungrim too, if Manfred can hit and get out of there. Looks like that's what he's going for. That should kill Ungrim. He was down to 1 hit point, but Manfred's now going to get trapped in this fight. Maybe he can use the animations there to keep Manfred moving. Or he could use some Raise the Dead to help himself out. Several trees coming back. Ooh, nice arrows of Kurnos there. And this Lord's gonna get swamped. Yeah, that Lord's gonna get taken out in a big hurry, so that's a big win. Manfred gets out alive. That's also big. Regroup Greenskins still mopping up units, so there's still some fight left here. Some aspiring champions being shot to death out there. This Belagar Ironhammer is now exposed too. That one tree with decent health is back. Oh man, I just keep thinking, bring the Spellsinger back. Yeah, you're gonna want to get out of there, Manfred. The Banshee's still alive too, that's a big deal. The Necromancer trying to get a cheeky charge in on Belagar. Well, at least the trees aren't gonna get back in that blob just yet. And it looks like all the dwarf units on this flank got wrapped up, so their artillery's gone. They no longer have that working to their favor. Manfred is kind of charging down, causing terror, doing a lot of damage. The Banshee can cause terror as well. Alright, the Spellsinger's been reactivated, but it's not heading over to heal the trees just yet. Balance of power still showing even. Yeah, it looks like the trees grouping up over here with a bunch of squigs. Squigs and wolves. The squigs have a nice number of kills. This mop-up duty for them has actually proven to be quite helpful in this battle. The early defeat of the Greenskins is being made up for by this late-game surge where they've come back and done a lot of work. Looks like they're trying to chase down this tree man. Let's see, there's a runesmith over here that Manfred could try and get to, do some damage. Some dwarf infantry kind of coming piecemeal over here trying to get the trees. This is definitely a mistake. With the squigs and the wolves and the trees around, this is going to get cleaned up. And then the orc wyvern is still back there as well. Looks like kind of biding its time back in the distance. These trees need to get over here and support the squigs and the wolves though. Here comes more squigs. Yeah, I don't think the dwarf infantry is going to like get hit by the squigs. Here you go, Manfred picking up the runesmith, doing a little bit of work. So still several trees alive. The Spellsinger. Where's the Spellsinger? Spellsinger's back there again, just sitting. Not sure why it hasn't. I mean, maybe there's no magic left. It did a lot of healing earlier. That's the only thing I can think is maybe there's no magic left, or it's just been plain forgotten, which would be too bad. Oh, look at this. The runesmith gets terrified by Manfred. That's bad. Now the necromancer can just mop him up if he hits him soon enough. Nope, he came back. You'd want to get your neck. There we go. All right, the two are going to team up on him. This is actually looking pretty good for the blue team at this point. I mean, barring a few scenarios, there are 2 Thanes and a pretty healthy Belagar left here. But I don't see how they're going to kill the trees, especially if the Spellsinger has something to say about it. Manfred has just about killed this runesmith. That's going to be a big play. Yeah, the runesmith's basically dead. He's going to rout. Woo! That dive bomb attack from Manfred. Manfred's gotten some work done. He's 120 kills in. And at this point, it looks like the Greenskins are just trying to keep their war boss alive, which that's probably the only thing keeping their guys on the battlefield. But look at these chariots back here, 144 kills just from mopping up units. A chariot charge into this infantry actually would be really brilliant. I'd love to see those chariots come in. Here comes the Banshee and Manfred, terror-causing units. Won't work against Longbeards. Ooh, those are ethereal Thanes too, but there should be some magic attack on the Banshee as well, but they're going to have magical attacks too. So the Banshee is in a pretty scary spot. The treemen have magical attacks though, so those Thanes are going to get wrecked. Assuming that the treemen attack the Thanes, they will absolutely slaughter them. Alright, the war boss has come down. This is going to be good. Try and help kill some of this dwarf infantry. Yep, here comes the treemen. Let's watch the Thanes. Pretty sure the Thanes are going to get wrapped up. The magical attacks are going to be pretty serious here. And the Thanes will do pretty good against the treemen in the sense that the treemen have 20% physical resistance, but for the Thanes it's 80%. So the magical attacks are going to be more devastating to the Thanes than they will the treemen. And that's going to swing this battle in the favor of the blue team. That was pretty cool. What looked very good early for the dwarfs is actually now looking quite bad. That's a pretty neat turnaround. Look at that! Look, the tree man got him! Picked up the Thane and smushed him. That was awesome. If you don't enjoy the animations and the art in this game, I'm sorry, but there's got to be something wrong with you. Because this is awesome. There comes Manfred too. It's just going to turn into a dwarf slaughter here at the end. Squig's eating them. I wonder if Squig can eat an ethereal Thane. Wow. That was a fun battle. That was pretty cool. CA! Fix the exit screen for crap's sake. I can't look at all the stuff that these guys did. Why'd you break that? It was like one of the few things that worked on the exit screen. And then bring us back the number of kills totaled up as well. But anyway, appreciate that being sent in. That was fun. Hope you all enjoyed that one. I know I did. I'll see you back with some more battles soon. HeirofCarthage, signing out.